What's happening, guys? So got a really good question recently, and the question was, does walking count as cardio? And I think this is a fantastic question. Like, I remember back in my old bro days, I would have said for sure, nope, cardio doesn't, or walking doesn't count as cardio. Absolutely not. Like, you're not doing much, you're not pushing yourself, it doesn't count. Like, there's no point to even doing it. Like, it's just dumb. All right. Okay, I have a much different opinion on that now. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about back then. But anyway, what I would say now, as always, is it kind of depends. All right, like it just really depends on what your current lifestyle is at, where your current physical health is at, and what you've been doing and what you can tolerate. All right, so cardio is, I kind of like to define cardio as basically like how heavy you're breathing during whatever it is you're trying to do, or a factor between like risen heart rate and like how heavy you're breathing. And how heavy you're breathing kind of depends on like what type of cardio you're doing. So low intensity, lower impact cardio that's not getting your heart rate up a lot, you might start breathing a little bit heavier a little bit, but you'll still easily be able to hold a conversation and go about doing other tasks. You might even be able to, play around your phone and still be able to do what you're doing with your cardio. Whereas if you get a little bit more intense and do a little bit more moderate intensity, now you're starting to breathe a little bit heavier. It gets a little bit more challenging to hold a conversation, but you can still probably do it. And now if we start talking about like actual high intensity interval training, like straight true hit where you're giving maximum effort, now at the end of that cardio, you're going to be breathing extremely heavy. You're not going to be able to hold a conversation at all because you're going to be breathing so heavy that it'll be hard to talk. And so that's like more of an intense style of cardio. So when we're talking about more like steady state traditional cardio, we kind of want to be in that middle range somewhere where, yeah, we could probably hold a conversation if we need to, but it will be a little bit challenging. Heart rate's going to be up. For some people, that's going to be walking. If you've literally done nothing for the last 15 years and you're extremely overweight and you've been a couch potato and you're just getting into things, walking is probably going to be challenging. If you go from taking 500 steps a day to now starting to do walking, not only is it going to be challenging, but it's going to be really beneficial for you. All right. For somebody who has done nothing and is really out of shape, walking is a fantastic way to get things going and to make some changes and to start seeing progress and results that you want to see. Walking is going to do a lot for that person. Whereas if you're someone who has a really active job and you take 10,000 steps a day, 12,000 steps a day, just doing your job, and it's something that's a normal part of your life and you walk all the time, but now you're trying to take it up to the next level, well, that walking is not really cardio for you. That's something that your body is already used to. All right, it's like something that it's not going to change anything. And if we want to force change, something has to change, right? So if you're just walking and you've already been walking, you're not going to get a whole lot out of that walking. Now that doesn't mean if you take more steps that you're not going to get extra expenditure. You are. If you're doing 12,000 steps a day and now you do 14,000 steps a day, you are going to get more expenditure, and it does count and it does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but in terms of like an actual training program, I don't know that I would really consider that to be additional cardio. Like if I was to give somebody a cardio target, I wouldn't really count walking in that. All right, we might give them a step goal, but then I would also say, okay, now I want you to do 40 minutes of steady state cardio where you get your heart rate up and your breathing gets to a certain place, something like that. You know what I mean? Now, if you're someone who has been really active and you've been training like crazy and you get tons of steps and you're already doing a lot of cardio, again, like walking is not going to do a whole lot for you. Right? You're going to need to do something a little bit more intense or a little bit longer cardio sessions to get more out of it. So I'm not saying, again, I want to be really clear about this. I'm not saying that extra walking, regardless of where your starting point is, doesn't count and doesn't have an impact on your daily expenditure, your NEAT. It does. It makes a difference. And if you increase your expenditure through additional walking, that's going to benefit you in a fat loss phase. If you're trying to increase your expenditure to lose more fat, it will help. But does that necessarily mean it's cardio? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue that it is, but for me, I don't really consider walking to be much of cardio except for in certain instances, right? Especially if somebody hasn't been doing any cardio at all. Now we start walking, that's their cardio. Maybe they're just gonna do some 10-minute walks every single day or 20-minute walks or whatever it is, all right? Like it really just depends on your own unique starting point. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying that's my opinion. Again, as always, I love to hear other people's opinions on the matter. So if you have a different opinion, please drop it below. What do you consider cardio and not cardio? And as always, any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you later.
addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.